Hello and welcome to another iteration of Chooses a Two with Dujon. Today I'll be demoing our InnoCare software and uh, and also touch on our charting software as well. That is online capabilities along with its tablet capabilities as well. So today I'll quickly go through just our InnoCare software. Once you log in, what you'll be able to do. We'll do a little bit of billing and how you're able to bill and view a lot of different results and reports on your software. So once you log in, first thing you'll see here, you'll have your schedule right here in front of you. We have different viewpoints. We always like to show, just in case depending on your skill set in the clinic, depending on your position in the clinic, you might be a front desk staff, you might be a practitioner. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. So we'll start off there. So right now we're on the day view, where you're able to see your entire day's schedule with everybody's schedule side by side. So every practitioner, you'll be able to see their schedule, or even if you have exercise rooms or any kind of equipment that you also have to schedule as well. The system has a way of keeping track of that for you. So as you can see here, you'll easily be able to go in and make those changes. Here we have the week view, where you're able to see the entire week on the schedule here, as you can see. And then there's also the practitioner view. So this is great because you'll be able to have your schedule here on the left side of the screen. So I'll make this a little bit bigger here. There we go. So as you can see here, you'll be able to have your schedule on the right side of the screen, and then your patient information on the left. Quick, the easy thing I'll show you is just the fact that you will be able to go in and you can view the client folder directly from here. So just by right clicking, you can go right to the view client folder and populate that client folder in the left screen here, which we'll get to in a second here because we're going to start off on the appointment book first. So we'll go back to the day view, where we have your entire schedule there right in front of you. And here you'll see the grayed out areas. These are unavailable areas on the schedule. So to make this available, very quick and easy, all you have to do is click and drag and drop. So let's say you're going to be open for part of the day for, let's say your clinic is only open half day on weekends or certain times. You can preset these availabilities very quickly and easily, just by highlighting and then right clicking and then modifying the availability. Here you'll be able to you'll have this window pop up for you, where you'll be able to not only control the time again, but you can also make that part of the schedule available or unavailable. We also have the pencil that option, which is our online booking tool. So there's a lot of different components that come with our software that helps you kind of manage everything from your patient intake to also your patient scheduling, and even just keep it organized, right? So we'll go in, you can label different parts of the schedule depending on what you'll be doing. If you're taking private assessments only in the mornings, for example, or if you're doing MVAs in the afternoon, you can pretty much set it up to whatever the specifics that you were doing at the clinic there yourself. So let's go with PR only here. You can also put something in the memo field. So if there's something that you wanted to be noted on this time frame, for example, no MVAs at this time until a certain time, or out of office or something like that, you can easily do that there and just hit show description and calendar. And you can also have the option of repeating it. So you can have this repeat. As I mentioned, you can choose the days that you're going to be, the clinic is open or the clinic is closed. So there's a lot of different options there for you. All right. So we'll hit OK. There you go. As you can see, it will populate that for you. So that means I can go in and I can book on that part of the schedule. I'll do the same for this side as well, just to quickly make that available. Hit OK, and there we go. So what we'll do is we'll book someone in for an appointment just to see how that looks here for you. So all you'd have to do first is just find whichever part of the schedule, if they call in, or if they're a walk-in, where you wanted to book them in. You just right-click and hit create. So as you can see, a lot of different functionalities you can do directly from the appointment book here itself. So that's a great thing about it. You don't have to, go all over the place just to do one function. Essentially, it's all at your fingertips. So here you have your create appointment book, very straightforward. You have your clinic location, treatment plan that you can change at any time. Also, who the appointment will be with, And for example, as I mentioned, if you have like an exercise room or anything else like that, or a piece of equipment, you can assign the same appointment to that room, or even another practitioner as well. So I'll do that right now just to give a quick idea. And then let's roll through. Choose my. You can also choose from a current list of clients that you have. And here you would have all the type of appointment that a person's coming in for. So let me use this practitioner here, for example. Create an appointment here. Here you'll see a list of all the appointment types. You can also label and color each appointment as well. So if you do assessments, or just to kind of differentiate, makes things a lot easier for the entire staff. This is a great way of communicating that across the board. The automatically when you pick the let's say assessment or whatever that patient is coming in for, it automatically affixes the price and the length of that appointment. You can change that as well if you want to do change default or use default. You can unclick that and change the length if you need to. But if not, you can do that. Then you also have a recall button that you can add to that as well. And there's also a memo field. So you can leave memos in here as a front desk staff for your practitioner or vice versa. It's kind of a great way to help you kind of communicate and see what's going on each patient's file. You also have an option here again to have a recurring appointment. So if a patient's going to be coming in at the same time every week for the rest of the month, you can easily preset that for them, no problem. You also have a taskbar here. So if you can create your own task and assign them to a patient's file. So if this patient needs to use an exercise bike beforehand, you can quickly do that, no problem. Same thing with the procedure codes. We can add those in for you as well. With billing, even if you have any goods or services that you offer, you can add them in and add them directly to the patient's file. Here, you have some functionalities with these buttons here. So not only can you search for your current clients, but also create a new client from here, where you can also overbook if you need to. So if you need to double book into a spot, you can. You just have to hit the overbook button. You can search for a client, and also you have your accept button after you've chosen your client as well, and then cancel, of course. So there we go. We've assigned this appointment to both the practitioner and also the room that they'll be using as well. Here you'll see the icon, a big red M, so that means that this patient, I left a memo on that file. V means that there's some missing information. So it gives you little prompts if you're missing any important information as well. And then PT for physiotherapy. And then this little gold coin right here, once I charge this patient, you'll see a dollar sign appear. So that means that they've been charged. This just means that they've been booked in and they have a balance owing currently. So if you can click on this light bulb here where you'll find a lot of different information on this patient's file. So you'll see there's different statuses that you can set: arrived, rebooked, canceled. Great thing about that is you can run a report on each and every one of these. So it's a good way to kind of keep track as an admin or office staff on what's going on in the office. Then you also have the how to charge a patient here. You charge them for your appointment along with charging them products separately. Here you can edit the appointment, delete, and add attachments as well. And as I mentioned before, you can jump right into the client folder just by clicking on this icon right here, which I'll get to in a second as well. Here you have a lot of different information as well. You have their balance. So if they have a running balance that's currently owing on the account or on their file, you'll see it here. So 728.80 you see as owing. Any payment plan they're under or third party, you would see it appear right here. And then if I left the memo, you would see the name of the person that left the memo. So everything is timestamped. So it's a great way to kind of just to make sure everything is in line with what you guys are doing, and just make sure that anything you guys are communicating across the board there on what's going on. So you can see who left that memo and at what time, along with when the appointment was created and when it was last modified as well. So these are great features that you have here just by clicking on that light bulb. You can reach a lot of those same features just by right-clicking on the appointment. So I can right-click and I can charge this patient instead of clicking on the bulb if it's a little bit too small for you. You have some other options there. So what I'll do is let me go in and I'll charge this patient. So I right-click and I'll hit charge, which is right here. This brings up what they came in for, if there's any products that I put on their appointment as well. And then if they have any third party, you can add it directly right here just by right clicking and hitting add. And if they have multiple, I can select whichever one they're coming in under. Hit OK. It will add it to that charge automatically. Hit OK there, and then you'll see the gold coin as I mentioned. So now we will collect this payment there, or let's say once you've received payment and you want to post this payment, you would right click again, or you can click on that bulb. It's the same options there for you at the top, and we'll hit post payment. Here you have all the charges for what they've came in for, if it's previous balances, so you can still have a running balance for a client, or you can select all. That's not a problem. So it's very quick and easy for you to do there, no problem. Here you have an option of sending it directly to their email. You can also print it for them if you need to, which I'll print preview and show you exactly what the receipt looks like, which is a great function, which will have your logo on there and all your contact information, of course. So you go in, you hit OK. It'll process that for you. Alright, so let me go to this patient here. We'll charge them out. Okay. And then post that payment. Here you'll see the charge there as I mentioned. Hit OK. And then the receipt would look like this. So there you go. You'd have your clinic logo, of course, along with all the information pertaining to the appointment that you came in for. And charges, and any additional information you can add into the description fields as well. If you want to add a reminder or anything like that, you can save this and also print this information. This will be available on their profile as well, so you can always refer back to it. You can resend it as an email. You can reprint it again if you need to. So there's always recourse if you need to go down that route. Once you've done that, you'll see the gold coin that looked like this turns blue. So that means that they've been charged and the payment has been posted. That means that you've collected that payment. So that's just some little views that kind of help you kind of stay organized and stay on top of everything as far as that goes. We'll go over to the clients tab really quickly. Here you will have your client information, of course, basic demographic. As far as their records, this stores what current treatment plans they're under. So if they're seeing both a massage therapist or a chiropractor, you can quickly and easily take a look at this and flip between whichever one you wanted to take some information from. Here at the bottom, or actually I'll go to the billing. Billing is, as I mentioned, you'll be able to see all the charges that have gone through under this patient's file. You can right click. There's a lot of different options you have as well. If it hasn't been posted, you can post a payment, adjust the payment, create a statement. So there's a lot of different options you have there for you as well. If you submit a third-party claim, you would be able to see the status here as well. So if you notice here on this patient file, see canceled. So that means that claim is canceled, incomplete, not yet claimed. So there's a lot of different options that you have. If it's not yet claimed, I can right click on it and then create a claim directly from here. Populates that for me, and I can create a claim right there and then if I need to. Hit OK. If it was a live account, it would send that off to the third-party payer. I get an email update, and I'll be able to go in and update the payments as they come back in. Here you'll have a list of their payers as well, so third-party. So the great thing about this is you have not only their policy information, but also the remainder of what they have owing on have on their policy. So it's a good way, if the patient doesn't know how much they have left, you can make them aware of that, and you guys can kind of decipher what they would need to pay from what the third party would pay. Then you have a documents tab. Excuse me. Here you can add any documents, so it could be anything directly from your computer. It could be any form of x-rays, notes, anything like that you can upload. The only thing you wouldn't be able to upload would be videos, but I'm sure that's fine. A lot of different file formats are able to be uploaded directly to their file. So that's a great way to store information, get rid of all that paper around the office if you have any, and it's a good way to stay organized, of course. Here on the Clients tab, if I go back to the Records tab, at the bottom you have Workflow and Tasks if you assign any tasks to a patient's file, but also you have Appointments tab. Here it keeps track of all the past appointments that this person has come in for, and also their future appointments that they have coming up as well. So it keeps track of all of that for you. Shows if they've been charged, you'll see that blue coin there. if they've canceled, the status that I showed you earlier, and if they were late or if the e-confirmation did not go through, you'd see a display in this section right here. So this is great. Tells you the type of appointment was on that day. If there was a memo left on file, you'd see it in this section. And then you'd also have your procedure codes here. So here you have different goods, services. This has to do with your MVA third party. All of that would be uploaded in our training sessions as well. We will be able to set that up for you as far as your third party payers. Here you'll be able to see your claims. So this is another window you can see what the status is on each claim as well. So you can not only create your OCF forms here, you can check the statuses on them as well. So you'll see OCF 18. You just have to right click and create that form directly here. Point of care forms. So you can create, we can create different formats of like templates, essentially your intake forms or even your charting forms, and just upload them to the software, and you would have direct access to them on all your patients' files. So you hit add, you'd have a full list here. All of these are customizable, would be ones that we've made for you. Depending on what you chose, hit OK, and it will populate right here for you. You'll see the note. You'll be able to create different text boxes, check boxes, and once you do that, you can add it directly to a patient's note there. Notes, you can also add additional notes here if you need to. And it's very quick and easy, keeps all the information for the patient on their file, so you can always refer to it if you need to. What I'll do is I'll pop over to the payers tab here. Here you'll have all your third-party payers. Here you can run a report and see what the status on each one is. So here you have pending, sent, approved, denied, anything like that. You can run quickly and take a look. Also, you can narrow it down to funding stream, claim, anything specific that you're looking for, along with the dates and times as well. Once you've done that, all you'd have to do is just hit go, and it will populate a report here for you at the bottom. So as you can see, you can quickly take a look. You can alphabetize it if you need to. So just by clicking on, let's say, the tab. So let's say you only wanted to see the claims first or anything like that. You can not only separate it here at the top and with the check boxes, but you also have the options here as well, and it will tell you the status of currently what's going on with that claim. You can do a lot of functionalities by right clicking on that as well, so you can create claims if you need to. Again, as I showed you earlier, you just have to right click and you can select which kind of claim you're going to be creating under that submission, along with canceled, approved. You can put approved. Once it's come in and it's come in approved, you can put in it's been approved. Also, you can go right. Let's take a look here. Yep, and you can print preview. There's a lot of different functionality you have just by right clicking on a patient's info. It's very quick and easy for you to do, as you can see there. Alright, the next one over we'll go to is Management tab. Here's a lot of different reports that you can run. So you can run one for your clients. You can check your birthdays. You can check appointments. You can narrow it down to any specific date or time, and it will give you all that information right here at the bottom. What current treatment plan they're under, if they've been discharged or not. The great thing about this report is it will tell you how many times you've booked an appointment, how many times they've come in and actually received treatment. It's a good way if you need to get in contact with a client and say, hey, you've booked a lot of appointments but not showing up. Did you want to see another practitioner? Is there anything that you could help them with specifically? They probably don't feel like they've been getting help with. There's a lot of different ways the software helps you do that. Next one over is appointments. Appointments is another report that you can run again. Here it's the appointment statuses that I showed you earlier. So canceled, no shows, anything like that. You can run a report and see which clients have been canceling, for example. And also you have your options of e-confirmations to make sure that your emails are up to date, charged or not charged accounts, along with client practitioners, appointment practitioners. So you can run a report on how many appointments a certain practitioners had, and so on and so forth. There's also another window where we'll be able to run the financial side of that as well. So that's one thing I'll show you in a second. So we'll hit go just to quickly show you a quick report here. And there you go. So it will show you the statuses, not only that, but also what they came in for at certain points and how long that appointment was, and even if they have a recall date or a memo on file. So is all of that is kept a close eye on in the software. It keeps track of all of that information for you, so you don't have to worry about having to dig through for that. And you can narrow it down to anything specific that you're looking for. All right, the next one I'll run is the balances. Here, as I showed you previously when I booked someone in, you will see have a running balance for a patient, but here you can see all the patients that have any balances going on their accounts. You can narrow it down to a funding stream, of course. You can put a minimum balance or a zero balance, but also you have the options of creating a collections letter as well through the software. So let's say you go in and you're like, okay, I need to collect, get this person to see what they will be able to make this payment. You can just right click. You have a lot of options, so you can not only view their balance details, but also view their client folder. So you can go right to the client folder if you need to make changes, like updating information, but also open payer accounts, which is a third party. So you can submit a claimant that hasn't been submitted as yet. So if that's one thing you've discovered. And then you have a notice of outstanding accounts. Everything else here is print preview. So we'll go to that notice of outstanding accounts. Here, it automatically defaults to 2 weeks for the collection date for you. You can change that if you need to. Also, you have the option of putting the amount, changing the amount if you're only going to be doing partial payments, but also you can create a first notice, second notice, and a final notice. I'll show you what that looks like. And it will look like this. You'll have your clinic logo, of course, along with all the contact information, and also the amount owing and when you would need that payment by. As I mentioned, it automatically defaults for 2 weeks. And you can quickly take a look and send that off to that patient. You can print, save it, send it in an email when you're finished. So that's a quick way that the system automates that report for you. All right, see, we'll go to the e-claims. Under e-claims, this is where you can run a quick report on just all the claims going through your software, so you can see if it's just been approved, rejected, any kind of status. That's just quick. Call this a quick touch or a quick review for your claim, so you can quickly see what the status is on them right away. You have the same functionalities going through as well, as far as just letting as far as just pulling all the information, going to their patient file if something is off, and making changes if you need to. Here under financial, it's the same tab window for searches again. So here's a financial query that you can run on all your claims throughout the clinic. If you have multiple locations, this works great as well because you can select which location you're working from, or you can do all. And just hit go, and it will pull that information for you. So you'll have your statuses, as I mentioned, if they've been charged or not, when was their last payment, what they came in for. So all of that is changeable there for you, no problem. Right. Next one over is referrals. Referrals is great. So if you're a clinic that has doctor referrals or even employee referrals, you can track all of them here. So you have marketing and physician referral. If I were to go all dates and hit go, it will tell me not only the referral and how many appointments I've received, but also the appointment revenue and also any other revenue like products or anything that you might sell throughout the clinic. So it's a great way to kind of stay on top of everything, make sure that the referrals that you're receiving from certain clinics or doctors are working for you, and even maybe you've done a marketing outreach, like maybe flyers or something like that, and you've collected that data over time and you wanted to see how that was doing. This is a great way for you to run that and see, because as you can see, it'll tell you the appointment revenue, give you a grand total revenue as well for that initial assess, or not assessment, but that initial refer, wherever you're getting that from. All right, next one is reports. Under reports, you will find where you can run a report on each and every practitioner that you have in your clinic. So here You can select a specific practitioner. You can select a location, of course, and this is where it runs a report to tell you what you've as far as how your physicians have been doing, as far as how many appointments they've had, how many appointments they've charged for, how much collections they've done as well. So we'll hit go. It'll create a quick report here for you, as you can see there. And this is where you can kind of see, okay, these are all the appointments that George has seen between this time base. Has all their charges, grand total of those charges as well. And it just gives you all that information that you need having to do with this practitioner and all the appointments that they've had. That's great for your taxes, or if you need to pull it for a meeting or anything like that as well. So that's a great way for you to keep track of that and make sure everything is okay. All right, the last one I'll go to is the end of day report. So right before I end, this is the one that a lot of physicians, but also front desk staff and managers really like, because this helps you stay organized, make sure that everything is okay from the day that just passed. And going into tomorrow, you won't really have any surprises going back into the clinic. So here, the first thing you have is incompleted mandatory fields. You can easily go in, see what missing information is there. You can right click and view client folder. That will populate that client's folder in the background for you. So you can call them, make the changes and update their account if you need to. So that's some quick and very easy ways for you to do that from the software itself. And then you also have clients with no future appointments. So this is a report for all the clients that have no future appointments coming up. You will also have the option of seeing if they've been discharged or not. So that's a great way for you to do it, to take a look and see, hey, do I need to give this person a call, get them back in? It looks like it just kind of stopped out of nowhere. You can give them a call just to see how things are going and if they would want to come back in for another appointment, or even send them an email. Anything that works, essentially. And then you have advanced summary. So here is a financial summary that you can run on the system. So this would have to do with attendance summary. This would have to do with the amount of people come in that day, if they've been charged or not. This is a great way to make sure that all the accounts have been charged for all the appointments that came through that day. So you can quickly see the status on that appointment. And then it's the same options as I mentioned. You can right click. You can issue an e-confirmation if you need to. You can go directly to the appointment. You can edit the appointment. Anything having to do with that, you can quickly right click and do from here. There's also payment summary. So that was the payment I took earlier, and also a financial summary for third party and financial and payments as well, like private paying. So it's a quick way for you to run that report. And then once you're done, you can save all of that information for your files as well. And it's a quick and easy way for you to go in and make sure that everything is okay. Here at the top, after your workflow, after management tab, that's mostly the gist of the software. You'll be all the functionalities you'll be able to do. But workflow you would not see. System setup is where you would set up your schedule, your appointment book, essentially, even the software. So like creating the appointment types, creating the amounts that it costs for each one. All of that information would be found in here. So you'll be able to create your appointment types right here. And then you also have the option of your procedure codes, which will be helped enter on your billing training. But you also have under organization, you have organization details, subscription administration, where you'll be able to set the subscription for certain practitioners. Along with, if I go back to clinical, as you can see here, you have a lot of different options, like your procedure codes, your procedure measure codes. A lot of different options will be able to put in there for you. You have your clinic locations as well, so you can add as many as you would need to depending on your locations, and kind of so on and so forth. As far as that goes, you have your general information here, your third-party peers, where you'll be able to put those in, where you'll be able to create your point of care forms. So the system is very adaptable, very customizable, what a lot of clinics do around on a day-to-day basis. You will not see this tab here, but you also have the help tab. The great thing about the help tab is if you really click on that, it brings you right to our web page that has the user guide and any FAQ questions that you might have answered right here and then. You can put it right in there, and just quickly go in and pull some information if you need to. So if you forgot to do a form of billing and our support staff is closed for the evening, which as I mentioned is closed at 10, you can quickly go in and just take a look and just kind of play around with it and see what you will be able to kind of figure out. Which is great to do because it's very user friendly. It doesn't take long to get your hand around it and just get them to start using it. What I will do, that will pretty much be the end of the demo for today. I will be doing a charting demonstration in 2 weeks, live here again on Tuesdays at 2. And we'll go over charting, what it's able to do, its capabilities, the ease of use of using it on a tablet. You can also pre-populate forms as well in the software on there as well. So I'll make sure to go through that with you guys and have you take a look. All right. Well, thank you again for joining me at Tuesdays at 2. Everyone has a great week and see you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.